Kazakhstan is rich in its unique nature preserves and national parks that represent the country. We have managed to save and protect the natural beauty of virgin lands. Sanctuaries and national parks are spread across the whole country. They include all kinds of landscape. The wild nature is under special protection. Near Kazakhstan's largest city, Almaty, there are 5 national parks, 7 nature preserves and 2 sanctuaries. The Allstate National Park is situated on the northern slopes of Zaili Alatau, one of the ridges of Tian. The park stretches from the Turgen Gorge in the east to the Chemalgan River in the west. The natural border in the north is deciduous forest. In the north, the park is isolated with the ridges of Zaili Alatau. Welcome to the Allstate State National Park. Here is where the border of the park starts. We will show you the most beautiful wild corners and wild animals of the park. National parks exist in many countries of the world. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the national park is a relatively large territory of land that is protected by the government, the land where ecosystems are not affected by human activity, the places where there are landscapes that have aesthetic value, places of natural habitat for the native animals and plants, the places that are interesting for scientists, educators and holiday makers. The first national parks were founded in the USA more than 130 years ago. Today, there are more than 2,000 national parks around the world. Some of them are not only the national heritage in their countries, but have also been included in the UNESCO's World Heritage Site. In Kazakhstan, like in other former Soviet Union republics, state national parks appeared relatively recently as the main form of preserving nature in those countries that used to be sanctuaries. National parks are similar to sanctuaries and are founded to preserve places of natural beauty and native wild animals. Unlike sanctuaries, national parks are open to the general public and are often used for recreational and educating purposes. The Alatau National Park was founded in 1996. Its area is about 200,000 hectares. Against all the odds, Zaili Alatau has kept its beauty and fascinating variety of forms of life. On the park area, forests, alpine meadows, moraine lakes and glaciers form perfect harmony. A significant part of the park consists of derelict pine forests that witnessed the Quaternary period. The shrank fir tree that is found here is up to 45 meters tall and 2 meters across. The tree is quite hardy and, unlike other trees, is capable of growing on extremely steep slopes. Its lifespan may reach 250 to 300 years, and in the upper border of the forest zone it reaches 600 years. Below the pine forest belt there are mixed woods with their diverse forms. One can come across the common apricot tree, Astrophaxis mushketovi, the Simonov maple, the Anchevsky currants, Caucasian carcass, and the Siever's apple tree. Researchers call this tree an ancestor of all apple trees in the world. In total, there are more than 1,000 plant species that are currently known. The Zaili Alatau Park is also abundant with various forms of wildlife. There are about 300 kinds of wild animals and birds. It has the snow leopard, the Central Asian lynx, the Tian brown bear, Central Asian mountain marten, ibex and many others. This gorge is inhabited by 5 or 6 snow leopards, according to our observations. Last year, when we were following livestock, we saw a snow leopard sitting on the road. It was there for an hour. We made photos of the animal. When they get old, they cannot catch wild goats, so they go down to the valley and find an easier target. They start living on marmots. There are colonies of marmots here, but they are invisible to us as the animals hide at daytime. To see wild animals here, one doesn't have to reach inaccessible corners, such as glaciers or deep forest. Just go up the mountains and have a close look at the slopes. Every year, the National Park staff conducts the census of the park's wild animals and monitor the area. The park is guarded more thoroughly when the summer starts. At this time, many species give birth to their young. The forestry officers' job is not easy. They are responsible for conducting the census, feeding them, protecting the territory of the park, and many other routines. Our main job is protecting the area from poachers and conducting the census of red deer and marmots at this time. We monitor the red deer more thoroughly from the 15th of May to the 1st of July. In the summertime, one can see the hoofed species early in the morning and in the late evening. They are active at the sunrise till 7 or 8 am and after 8 pm. At this time you can see red deer on the hill slopes. They are mostly females with their young. They tend to stick to open areas overgrown with bushes, while stags hide in the forests, avoiding damaging their young soft antlers. Red deer falls into category of real deer. It represents many subspecies of its kind, many of which differ in size, weight, coloration and some other features. Red deer has large antlers with a few branches characteristic for this species. There are more than 15 subspecies of red deer. For each kind of animals, there is its own method of census. The two main methods that are frequently used are simple. The first is by means of trail cameras, and the second is visual. To conduct the census, huntsmen have to reach their habitat on horses, looking at the slopes through their binoculars. The number of spotted wild animals is recorded in a special journal. The length of the area is then multiplied by its width, and the result is the sought number.
Видеоловушки никак устанавливаются в скрытых местах, где именно солончаки ставятся, где подходят дикие животные.
Trail cameras are set so that they are not visible on the saline soil. Hoofed animals and even wolves then approach the cameras as they want to lick the salt. Then we take the recorded material and watch what animals were recorded and when. This is how we conduct this kind of census. We also go to the sites on horses early in the morning and record the animals we come across. We keep record of an approximate number of marmots, roe deer and red deer. In this gorge, I have seen 50 red deer at a time, from one place, both males and females. Generally, we have a greater number of them here. The Ili-Alatau National Park has quite a large population of the Siberian roe deer. In the Almaty region, the roe deer is widespread in the riparian forests of the southern near Balkhash area and in all of the mountains of Zaili and Jungar-Alatau. It's a medium-sized deer that weighs from 20 to 50 kilograms. Their antlers weigh on average 600 grams. The roe deer is a valuable trophy and target in sport hunting. On this territory, there are almost all animals represented in the area. Red deer, roe deer, wild boar. We also have bears, snow leopards, minks, wolves, badgers. Almost all of them are in the mountain zone. Wild goats are safe too. We are monitoring them now. The Ilia-Alatau National Park is different from others not only with its distinct fauna and flora, but also with its natural monuments that bring unique character to this wild corner of the planet. One of the peculiarities of the park is that at this place one can walk past several zones just in a few hours, from the belt of the steppe to the zone of alpine meadows and glaciers. Along the southern borders of the park one can find the prehistoric evidence of the Ice Age. At the altitude of more than 3,500 meters above sea level are situated massive glaciers. In the left Talgar Gorge is the largest glacier of the northern slope of Ilia-Alatau, the Dmitriev Glacier. It has the unique landscape that resembles tundra that is seen from the Prohodnoy Pass. Here, in the depth of 1 to 2 meters, are layers of permafrost. On the right bank of the Shenturgen River is the unanimous derelict pine wood, where the trees are covered with moss. The soil has inclusions of ground ice, just in a few meters deeper than the ground surface. There is a lot of evidence of seismic activity and mudslides everywhere here. The Great Almaty Lake that appeared here about 2000 years ago and the Akjar crevasse in the Aksai Gorge that was formed in 1887 are ominous reminders of the severe earthquakes. On the park area one can see ancient constructions that have a historical value, rock drawings made by early people. Many sites still await to be explored. Experts say the names of mountains, lakes, rivers and terrains were given by ancient peoples that worshipped these lands. The name of Pik Huntingri means Lord's home. The name for Lake Issyk means Holy Lake and River Maybulak means Holy Spring. The unique wildlife and landscapes of the park have a value for the whole mankind. The national park was founded to preserve the natural beauty of Ilia-Alatau. The mountains are the green heart of the huge territory populated by more than 2 million people. Ilia-Alatau supplies the southern part of the Almaty region with water, with fresh drinking water, the priceless gift from nature that many people living in deserts and steppes of Kazakhstan and hundreds of millions of people around the world are deprived of, having to buy bottled water. Mountain breezes that blow down towards the valley cause air movement in Almaty city, forming the climate of the near mountain area. The biological diversity of Ilia-Alatau is a valuable treasure which will be enjoyed by future generations and will allow us to save the genetic diversity of various species. Will the park save its beauty and a wealth of fauna for the future generations, or will it remain a sad reminder of the human ignorance, indifference and greed? Well, it is all up to each of us.